We're Marwadis, but it gives me pride to share on this platform that we are a handful, but we have done one of the finest works as well. I'm looking to double down on India as a market. It is a very promising country and the future is here. We as an industry only began to look India as a promising place after getting kicks from China and USA. What really bothers me is how international brands were able to capitalize on our traditions and products all across the globe, and we never valued it. Jewish people were the first ones in Antwerp, but Gujarati slowly entered the business, learned the business, and I would say mastered the business. There's a learning from my family that I absolutely love. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to grow fast, go together. The name Sanghvi resonates trust and honest business practices. I take this as my utmost responsibility to safeguard the legacy.
Welcome to another episode of the Jewellery Pod. I'm your host Krishna, and I bring stories, tech, and business on this platform. On this special podcast, it's about diamonds, tariffs, and growth. Growth of India market, a promising economy that everyone is looking at the moment. Endeavor in this podcast is to understand the psychology, how exactly dynamics of selling to high net worth individual works, and why traders based in Antwerp are actually looking at India as the most promising market. Let's join our hands to welcome Viral Sanghvi from Sanghvi Group on Jewellery Pod. Hi Viral.
Hi Krishna, how are you?
Welcome to the Jewellery Pod.
Thank you.
Thank you for making it super quick, and so happy that you are here on this platform today.
It's a pleasure to be interviewed by you.
I saw your, I tumbled on your Instagram, and I saw some really stunning pieces. It looks like an underdog yet, but when I actually spoke with you, there was a lot more new things that we can cover on this. So let's bring each thing one by one. How exactly you got into the business?
Before I discuss how I got into the business, I would like to talk about my family. My family has been in the business for 30 years, where my father and his family partners began with the journey in Antwerp, where they were procuring rough, sending it to Surat, and manufacturing that product and sending it back to Europe and selling it to the retailers out there.
Mm-hmm.
Over the years, we see that business has grown significantly, especially in the export side of things. But when I joined the business, I've realized that there is a lot more opportunity in India as we approach to become the third largest economy. And I'm quoting Mr. Modi out here. Consumerism, as you see in India, is at its rise. And the more and more people have the ambition to thrive in India, the more and more opportunities are opening up out here. And then be it the smallest of the person to the biggest of the person in India, they all are looking to wear fine jewelry and experience this, which maybe they couldn't do before.
And what factors are motivating you to say so?
So we were never into jewelry. We got excited to jewelry very off late. A dear family friend approached us and said that, would you be able to make this high value piece for me? And my first thought was, should I put my hands into jewelry? Because it's quite an intricate process. But, I like challenges. And she was someone very close to me. So I said, let's give it a thought. And little did I know that this would be the start of my jewelry career. She wanted something that's not too intricate. It was a simple bangle, very high in value, but she had the trust that, we'll be able to deliver what she's looking for. And without compromising on the quality that we will provide in our stones and the jewelry piece itself. So what we created for her was a one-of-a-kind piece.
Yeah.
So basically, she had gone to a retailer.
Yeah.
And that retailer had quoted something to her.
Yeah.
And she came to me without telling me that she had gone to the retailer and asked me, how much can you do it for? And surprisingly, I quoted her half the price of what the retailer had quoted.
Yeah.
So we took the opportunity on board. We made something beautiful for her. And that's how we stepped into the jewelry space. And we realized that just after we made this piece and displayed it to a few people, and she spoke about it to a few people, we started getting orders from friends, family friends, relatives, and we never looked back. And 10 years from now, I'm still working with that client, and recently just delivered another milestone piece, I would say, for her.
And we're like, this is getting actually more intense. I'm intrigued to know how this psychology of buying high net worth articles works. I'm gonna talk about it later soon with you. But before we dive further, I would love to know what community of Indians in Antwerp or Gujaratis diamantiers is actually in Antwerp. What are the dynamics over there? How they see Modi as?
I would say is a lot of Gujaratis, Marwadis also now, and a lot of Jewish people as well, and a lot of Lebanese people as well.
Okay.
So something that we all have in common is we have a history of diamonds. The Jewish people, I would say, were the first ones in Antwerp, but Gujarati slowly entered the business, learned the business, and I would say mastered the business, where today you would see more Gujaratis operating in the industry, and the Jewish people are still a very strong part of the business, but have taken the service approach of the business, where you would see the base of the business is run by the Jews, the Rappaport, but at the same time, the manufacturing has transitioned to in the hands of the Gujarat and the Marwadis. So I would say over the times, the dynamics of who is controlling the business keeps changing. And within the Gujarati community also, there has been a shift from Palanpuris to Kathiawadis leading the business. So there is a really interesting dynamic within the Gujarati community and the Marwadi community. The ones that took technology on board quicker, moved a lot faster in terms of growth. And the ones that had a better risk-taking appetite, also their growth is tremendous because of the how risk-averse they were.
Viral, I know you were born and brought up in that culture, but if we can break down in simple words what Kathiawadis and Palanpuris are, what do you have to say?
Palanpuris were the pioneers of the business. They moved to Antwerp and a lot of places abroad, New York, Hong Kong, and they really excelled at what they aimed to do. However, little did we know that the Kathiawadis were also not too far behind. They learned the business quite quickly as well. And over time, they used the technology in their favor. They set up platforms where they're able to make sales without having a presence of office all across the globe, which the Palanpuris and the Marwadis had a mindset that, you should have an office in Hong Kong, Dubai, New York, Antwerp, and these offices will do the work. However, the Kathiawadis, they set up portals, websites, which display the product so well that if I'm sitting in the corner of a village in Africa and I decide I want to buy a beautiful 5-carat IVS stone, I can look at their website and I can be assured that the product I'm buying is up to the mark. And the trust that they have been able to capture by using the technology is the reason why they look good on the world map today.
Quick question. So you are Marwadi, you're a Palanpuria, or you are Kathiawadi?
I'm a Marwadi, and we have also been a part of the trade. But I would say our community is relatively has a smaller presence. But over time, our communities also made a big impact. If you'd see like a KGK.
Of course.
Today in Russia, it's also a Marwadi family, and they've really made an impact. So yeah, I'm a Marwadi, and we also have quite a history when it comes to entering the diamond business. And we go back in this trade also 30 years. We're Marwadis, but it gives me pride to share on this platform that we are a handful, but we have done one of the finest works as well.
No doubt about it, Viral. I completely I've worked with a Marwari company. I was with KGQ for like 7 years.
Of course.
And so I know things how dynamics works inside out. Will your family friends and your people you grew up with in Antwerp, they all were from the trade pretty much. Weekend outings would be probably with them only. How it shaped your mindset to be in this business? Did you ever expected that you would be in this business, or you had aspirations to do something else?
I think as I grew up in a diamond family, have been very much exposed to diamond talks in and out. I say after I started spending more time in India and more time in our factory, uh, I was always interested in this trade. And definitely after learning the ins and outs of this business, I was sure that I would want to create a product of my own. And and I did get that opportunity and make a mark for myself. The family had given me a platform which allowed me to do this comfortably and work on what I want to deliver in this industry. And yeah, I was able to do that because of my family.
And what are your inputs in this business? Did you introduce any technology? Did you change how things were working over 30 years? And most importantly, how happy your family was about these changes that you brought in?
So the family had a solid chain of operations already in place. Now I had to figure out what would my value addition be to the family, and I saw this value addition in jewelry. The traditional approach to the industry and how we were operating is still going on, and I think will continue to go on. But where we would be trading our rough stones that we were procuring in Antwerp, or manufactured product that we were selling to retailers abroad, but we never had a jewelry arm. And being educated in the 21st century, I realized that I can really use technology for the benefit of our company and use platforms like Instagram to make sales.
Yeah.
I had a friend who had suggested my Insta handle to another friend who was looking for a simple engagement ring. There are always trust issues on these platforms as well. There could be people who approach you and you may deliver the product and you may never receive the money. But these platforms can also work in your favor, who a lot of clientele can just see your product and approach you, and it could be a very smooth transaction. I had a Lebanese client who approached me online who was looking for a simple 1.5 carat round diamond, natural round diamond, and just having simple conversations over a call, me guiding him through the process, and me putting my trust. And my priority in this complete transaction wouldn't be to make money, but make sure that someone that has approached me, someone who doesn't know me, has a smooth experience of buying a natural diamond for his loved one. And I think in this process, I learned that the generation to come will use this approach. Our strength lies in rough procurement and manufacturing. Manufacturing for us resulted in better rough yields after we introduced the right technology, especially bringing on board machines from Israel. I'm sure you've heard of Serene, the Galaxy machine, and we are very happy with the results that we've achieved after taking these technology on board. Honestly, but what really excites me is using technology on the sales front of things. For example, using Instagram or website sales. Now imagine using AI technology to by feeding in the right prompts to create the ideal engagement ring for you.
And it's there already. People are actually consulting with AI first, and then they're going to the jewelers.
Funny that you say this, but my best friend consulted with ChatGPT that what would be the ideal stone for his fiancée based on placing certain prompts, and which lab to approach, which stone size would be right for him or fit for him, and what would fit in his budget. And I was impressed because The day he shared the certificate of the stone he was looking to procure, it's a suggestion that I would give him, that go for this stone. So it is quite amusing that the coming generation, or the Gen Z that will be buying these pieces in the future, will actually be using technology first before stepping into a physical store.
And do you think that's a additive advantage for the industry? But what I feel that it actually pushes us to do much better in terms of being more tech advanced, because we need to keep pace with someone who's actually day and night texting and talking to ChatGPT. We as diamond industry are actually working in our own we're working in our own la la land.
Correct.
We have now set brain of rights and wrongs, but this has been a narrative on this podcast, always viral, that unless we unlearn and adapt, it's impossible to grow, and it's impossible to grow.
I agree with you. It's crucial to move with the time, and using technology in the right way is only going to help the customers. It's going to make it easier for them not to get cheated. It's obviously, I don't believe that the technology will replace the people. Actually, fun fact would be that it's going to replace those who are not working with ethical practices. For example, a lot of people are buying strong fluorescent stones without knowing whether it's a good or a bad characteristic. Now, my friend, when he did his research, he knew that having fluoro is impurity in the stone. So he would ask for something that's perfect, which would be ideally a non-fluorescent stone or a stone with less fluorescence.
But I don't know if you would agree to this thing, but wholesale manufacturing and supply chain is very different to what retail front is. And
Correct.
I never want to discount what retail is charging for their product, because for all the good reasons, they have a different cost to be taken care.
Absolutely.
And over here, but yeah, there's a very thin line now. Many diamond traders are also into retailers, giving this price promises to the client. But on sunny side up, I see this as market becoming more transparent.
100%. Market is becoming more and more transparent as technology evolves with time. And it has its pros, but also has its cons. Pros being right information, traceability, clarity on what they are buying, and the customer receiving a justified price.
Coming back to your interest of sale, how are you going to reinvent the wheel? I know that you're working with HNIs, you're working on special custom pieces. How exactly this communication goes around? You suggest them something on paper first, you show them CAD drawings.
So when we approach the customer, we show them our product. We show them, we make them sit with our design team. We make sure the design team works hand in hand to create a piece that is up to the mark. And once they're completely satisfied, we will create a sample of that product. And before we set our diamonds, we make sure that the customer is satisfied with the jewelry that he or she will be wearing on his or her big day. I really need to share this with you, but making a custom jewelry piece is very exciting. Firstly, you're making it for someone special for their special day. So as they approach you, they have some ideas in mind, but you make them sit with we make them sit with our jewelry team, our designing team, and we will first understand what they're looking for and make or create a sketch of their ideas and our ideas and make something really meaningful. Let me share an experience. We had a bride come into our office very recently, and we sat her down. She wanted a very simple, essential piece like a eternity band. And so we sat her down. We're like, what can we do to make this have a personal touch, So first we understood her story. She had been with her fiance since high school, and I would say a good 15 to 18 years. So we suggested to her that why don't you make that eternity band with 18 stones and of whatever shape she likes, but at least there will be a memory associated with the ring and the relationship.
That's really interesting. And what comes first? Is it design or is it pricing? How you guys work on commercials? How you actually convey how you convey them the pricing or commercial, or is it done directly by those celebs, or it is some middleman doing this thing for them?
So, Krishna, let me break it down for you. When you're working with a private client, commercials are indeed discussed first. So they usually come with a budget in mind, and we make it a point that they're comfortable, and we are able to deliver what they want in that budget. But when we're discussing a HNI or a celebrity, budget is not the key focus. The key focus is the design and aesthetic that will come into the piece. We've actually worked with quite a few celebrities. I will give no names, but we created a very special piece for a sports person in India. And we spent almost 3 months designing a piece that will remind him of the big victory that he had achieved in his life. That piece had a lot of defining moments, location, numbers, and colors that would reflect the victory. So, Krishna, when you work with celebrities, the stakes are very high. There's less to no time to go back and forth. You have to have delivered nothing but the best.
Did this ever happen that something went wrong on table, and do you had did you had an emergency call, or was there any situation ever?
We were discussing about a particular sports person that we've created this piece for, and at times you need to prioritize the person you're working for. I was in Antwerp. I missed my wife's birthday. I missed a Diwali with my family, but at the same time, very important to deliver this piece to this individual. Like I'm basically trying to say that when it comes to celebrities, you will also have to compromise on your life and your time. You cannot be they have a fixed schedule. They will say come today. They might say come in 3 days, or they might say I'm busy. Let's meet in a month. So you need to prioritize their time, and you will have to make compromises in your schedule.
This is always happening with our industry. I have traveled so many times to shows in GCC.
Yeah.
When it's actually time for Diwali, which is big for all of us as Indians.
Yeah, and I guess timing is very important. For example, IIJS is happening right now. So there's a major trade show happening in India right now, and it clashes with our summer break. So what I see is timing is crucial. If you're able to organize something at the right time for the right person, you will see better results.
How it looks like for you, Viral, down the line 5 years? You want to double down on this project only, or you will go into retailing?
The world could be aiming pan-international for their brand, but for Sanghvi Group and for myself, I'm looking to double down on India as a market. It is a very promising country, and the future is here. The gold mine is here. Work will continue at all the ports that we're present in, but expansion is required in India, and that's our prime focus.
Okay. On a personal note, Viral, I'm not sure if you're comfortable discussing this or not. For a change, your wife is not from the industry. She's into chemicals, right?
Correct. Yes.
And she's leading big projects.
Correct.
What did you learn something from her? Was she able to add something to your mindset, how that you think we can use that in this industry and would be really groundbreaking?
Honestly, what I've learned from her is keep a open mind. She always says that, you have to think big to achieve big. When I meet my wife, her mindset is there is so much scope in India.
Yeah.
And they are also 30% exports and 70% local consumption. They are happier with the local consumption in the past, since China has also,
Yeah.
in their industry, China has also put a
Yeah.
halt. India has great opportunity. So what I really admire about her work ethics is they have a big vision, and that vision lies in India. They were ahead of time, where they put India, where we used to put India as an underdog. They were way ahead of the game, where they doubled down on India 15 years back. And I guess they're reaping the benefits of that today. On the contrary, Krishna, we as an industry only began to look India as a promising place after getting kicks from China and USA.
That's about human nature. I think we don't value things we already have unless
Correct.
we realizing someone else doubling down on that.
Krishna, so what really bothers me is how international brands were able to capitalize on our traditions and products all across the globe, and we never valued it. We never even thought of copywriting them. Now look at our Kolhapuri chappals or our mirror work on our clothing, and people are capitalizing on that.
Will one trade ethics that you don't appreciate, or you want that to be changed?
So I've been thinking about this for quite some time, and I feel natural diamonds need to be valued and appreciated because they take thousands of years to be created, and it should not be treated as an ordinary commodity. So what I believe is it deserves more respect, care in terms of pricing.
And Viral, it makes a lot of sense. It annoys me as well that something talking about army, it's a bag. Probably it might take 3 to 6 months to produce it, but how people look at army bag and how they line up outside the showroom. There's a massive waiting list for to own a bag, right?
Correct.
This is something that our industry is lacking behind. It has been a late narrative of our industry that we actually didn't worked on a really good campaign, or we didn't highlight it ever that it should deserve that kind of approach. It when diamond is on the table, people think, oh, it's just a commodity. Kind of payment terms people do ask and how it is treated need to be changed. It's a high time that perspective need to change.
I completely agree with you on this point. And the reason why a diamond is today has not been appreciated the way it needs to be appreciated is because we as an industry need to come together and market and show its value to the people. It is our responsibility, and it is not just De Beers who needs to take the responsibility on themselves to market this product. We as an industry need to come together, show its true value to the customers, and there is no doubt that this is something truly special. So if we come together and join hands and not, see each other as competition, we have a beautiful product to sell.
Viral, you're like very young and you are not thinking from how things are actually happening in the industry already. You with your fresh approach, and just to prevent yourself and your group getting lost amongst all the suppliers and manufacturers and jewelry makers, how do you stand out? How do you make yourself special?
I'm not sure if you know this, but transitional jewelry is a trend now where brides are coming up to us and looking for something that has utility ahead of just their wedding day. So we have sat down with them and created pieces that are appropriate for their big day. At the same time, they are able to use this kind of jewelry in, let's say, a birthday party or a friend's wedding event. For example, we created a necklace which had a beautiful, heavy look to it. But at the same time, we attached two more chains to it, which can be detached for other occasions. So when you put all three chains together, it looks like one solid piece. But when you put them apart, they can be worn for other occasions as well. And I think this will meet the needs of the coming generations. And you get great utility out of an investment that you've made.
You're hitting a right nail. What other psychologies of today's buyer you have understood so far while dealing with your customers?
Dealing with clients today made me realize that they're looking for something more meaningful, a story to tell, a legacy to hold, and make them feel special.
So, Viral, after sharing all these things, I already foresee you as a customer expert and a good consultant for your clients.
Thank you.
Is there something that you wish you knew earlier that would have helped you do much better?
Honestly, nothing as such. I think I have been lucky enough to be at the right place at the right time, at the right frame of the market. There's a learning from my family that I absolutely love. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to grow fast, go together. I feel for a business that requires so much trust, having family partners can help you grow exponentially.
Viral, how would you like to conclude this podcast?
What I believe is our industry has an immense potential to grow. There is a myth about our industry that it is gate kept. What I believe is not many right people are talking about it. The name Sanghvi resonates trust and honest business practices. As a third generation in the family business, I take this as my utmost responsibility and sincerity to safeguard the legacy. And I believe these are my exact guiding lights towards leadership.
I'm quite impressed after talking to you, Viral. Had no idea that this is what you think about the industry. And with young minds like yourself, I do see a promising future for our industry. It was lovely speaking with you. Thanks again for your time.
Thank you, Raj, for giving your time and looking forward to meeting you soon.
Likewise. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for staying with us for this lovely podcast. I was years old to know more about the diamond industry, how it transferred from Jews to Indians. It was quite interesting insight for me itself. I believe you felt the same. And if you have any questions, please do interact in comments below. We are distributing this whole content on 7 platforms. Please do not forget to subscribe and let us know what you would love to hear in next episode, and I'll make sure to bring it to you. Till we meet again, thank you.